This is one of my favorite Northern Lights captures. Catching Venus chase down the moon through an epic sunset was the perfect introduction for the Aurora to set the sky on fire. The melting snow opened up a kind of glaze over my pond, transforming the soft glow of the snow into a powerful reflection of the living skies. Beyond the lights, the sky is busy with shooting stars and the perfect amount of clouds to add a sense of depth to the scene. This shot was captured over 5 hours on a camera that fits in your pocket, and with so many options out there today, which one is actually the best for you to tell your story? Choosing the right camera is not easy with all the options out there today. It's not a bad problem to have, but I've spent a lot of my free time testing and comparing them all, chasing that perfect result. This story is about answering one question: which of the three compact camera giants give us the best shot at capturing the Northern Lights? So this is what April 21st looks like here in central Saskatchewan. All this snow. Hey, I'm the Jonathan Ape. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to go over which one of these cameras is the best for catching the Northern Lights. I've been really lucky here the last few nights. The lights have really been giving her, and that's terrific. And all this snow is making it a lot better for the light reflecting. All right, so real quick here, before we lose this wonderful golden light, I'm just going to go over my setup real quick. I've got the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, DJI Pocket 3, I can't afford the 4 quite yet, the GoPro Hero 13, and the DJI Action 6. And these are all set up for the Northern Lights. I've been spending a lot of time here over the last several nights. The lights have been pretty active and been able to tune my settings, tweak them in. I had quite a bit of experience with the Hero 13, but I've been trying to dial in these two, and the Pocket 3. I've got a lot of experience with that one as well with these lights. So the first thing is the battery power. I'm gonna have all three of the Action cameras plugged in, and that is because the Ace Pro 2 and the Hero 13, they don't last. Maybe you'll get 2 hours out of them. The Action 6, you'll get quite a bit more than that, but I did find something out with it. I made a whole video on an issue it's got with the shutter when you have it in auto mode, and when you're in a sunset like this, you need to have the shutter in auto because the light changes so drastically from light to dark, and then the lights come out. But I did find out that you don't squeeze those crazy hours out of the Action 6 when you don't have it plugged in. If you're using those longer shutter speeds, it drains the battery quicker. Just like the other two, the Hero 13 and the Ace Pro 2, they have longer shutter speeds with their auto settings. So that's one of the reasons why they drain more batteries. The other thing I got is a 2000 milliwatt power bank here, and that is going to get me probably 5 to 6 hours out of these three cameras if they're all plugged into here. That's what I've been getting the last few nights. And if you are going to be using these cameras, the only one that's waterproofed right now from rain, if it was to rain, I guess maybe it snows, is the Hero 13, because it's got this charger here that it's a magnetic charger that just clips onto it there. And the other two are just straight USB-C charging, so the doors have got to be open. Not completely waterproof. And in the Pocket 3, what I do with this is I run a 5-hour motion lapse, and with the battery grip here, I've got two different ones. This one, I know for sure I'll be getting 5 hours out of it, so I will catch that transition from sunset to Northern Lights. So that's enough rambling for now. Let's jump into some of the footage, and I'm going to show you the settings I use to capture all of this footage, and you can decide which is best for you. That quick flash on the two cameras is overexposure from using manual shutter, which was needed to get the best results, especially on DJI's Action 6, and that's the first camera on the chopping block. I found that using auto shutter on the Action 6 to keep the sunset exposed comes at a big cost. I consistently get this flickering when the light transitions, and once it gets dark, you lose a lot of detail. The problem is in auto, the Action 6 is limited to a maximum 1 second shutter. The Pocket 3, for example, can go all the way up to 30 seconds. The best results I got from the Action 6 were shooting 30-second intervals and manually locking the shutter to 25 seconds. But to get usable footage, I also had to crank the ISO up to at least the 100 to 12,800 range, which left the image pretty noisy. It was the only camera in this test that needed that kind of ISO, even with the 25-second exposure. Battery life is where it shines. The Action 6 is easily the most efficient here. I'd be confident leaving it out for 4 to 5 hour night lapse without plugging it in at all. Mounting is another issue for me. DJI ships this thing with a magnetic fixed ear style mount that I honestly just leave in the box. It's bulky and that's the best place for it. Thankfully, there's some solid third-party options that replace DJI's fixed ears and give you both a 1/4-20 and that ear style mount, so you still have some flexibility, and they fold up nice too. I love the Action 6, but low light time lapses are easily its biggest weakness for my shooting style, and for this test, it lands itself at the bottom. Insta360 gives you a very similar mounting setup with the Ace Pro 2, and third-party companies jumped on that one as well, offering the same kind of upgraded mounting options. For capturing the lights, I was able to get a much better image here while keeping the ISO at 1600. That's far lower than the Action 6 at 12,800. This gives you noticeably more detail in the shadows on a moonless night. You'll also notice I've got the shutter set to 30 seconds on a 30-second interval. I noticed the 1600 ISO was introducing some noise to the image, so I also tried dropping the ISO to 800 and shortening both the interval and shutter to 15 seconds. And I was honestly surprised by how good the result looked. Unfortunately, the clouds rolled in and cut that test short. Battery life is a downside here. To capture long time lapses like this, you're going to need to plug it in. From all my testing, the battery performance is almost identical to the GoPro Hero 13. The GoPro does have a slight edge with its magnetic weather-sealed charging, but where it really stands out is the mounting. The built-in ears and a 1/4-20 thread are incredibly convenient and keep it the most compact option when mounting. Battery isn't the only thing that's similar to the Ace Pro 2 though. When it comes to capturing the lights, the results are actually very close. So this is from that same night when the clouds are rolled in. I've got the GoPro set to a 20-second interval with a 15-second shutter, the same settings I used on the Ace Pro 2, and both are capped at ISO 800. Here's how they look side by side. I had the white balance set to 5000K on the GoPro and 4600K on the Ace Pro 2. The 4600 is definitely closer to the natural look of the Aurora, and honestly, I'd recommend dropping it even lower to around 4000K for the best results. For me, the Ace Pro 2 and Hero 13 are pretty much a tie, but the Pocket 3 brings a few key features that make capturing these lights a lot easier and ultimately gives you the best results out of all four of these cameras. It has this motion lapse mode that lets you pan the gimbal and cover more of the sky, even tracking the stars. That alone puts it ahead of the others. The 1-inch sensor pulls in enough light to keep your ISO at or below 200, which gives you a much cleaner image. And in auto exposure, it can hold the shutter up to 30 seconds, which completely blows past the Action 6's 1 second limit. So here's that opening scene again. This time it's straight out of camera, no edits. And here's how it looks after processing the raw photos and doing my own stitch. One thing I really like about the DJI cameras is that you can capture both the in-camera video and the raw sequence at the same time. That's a huge deal for me, but not everybody needs RAWs. With the Hero 13 and Ace Pro 2, it's one or the other, never both. The Pocket 3 has a maximum motion lapse duration of 5 hours, which is perfect for capturing the northern lights, but to hit that full duration, you're likely going to need an extended battery handle. You can pick one of these up for around $30 and it is totally worth it. And yes, the Pocket 3 comes with the only mount that really matters. I just wish they'd bring that 1/4-20 mount across the entire lineup.